We believed we are live.
Yep. Welcome to the
Again.
TetNet show. It's not been a while for
Hello.
once, which is
It's been a whole day. Oh my
yeah.
gosh! Is this the beginning of TechNet all day every night?
We're not
I'm
there
I'm
yet.
I'm pretty sure we've already run out of topics by the end of this one. Gonna need to recharge for next week. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't really been following the news. Well, besides, of course, peak performance.
Yeah, okay, this event actually it surprised me in a lot of different ways. I was expecting the iPad. I was expecting the SE. Oh boy. Was I not expecting the green?
Oh, the green. Definitely the major highlight of the thing.
Oh, and the display, don't
I
forget the
was
display.
I was apparently still in the Discord call that we were in earlier, and it has kicked me out. I got concerned about that notification. I thought something went wrong with the stream, but no.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just by myself in Discord. Anyway, but yeah, major highlights: iPhone 13 and the 13 Pro now in green. Just when I thought they couldn't top when the iPhone 12 came out in purple, they outdo themselves again with iPhone 13 in
Yeah.
green.
Look at this. Look oh, that's saddening. Put me
I
on
can add it to the
screen.
screen. There you are.
Look at this. Look at this beautiful,
Oh yes,
beautiful
look at that good
green.
stuff. I actually really dig this green. It's I don't know. It doesn't. I feel like it doesn't contrast well with our wild default
Oh,
background. But look at
they
that.
changed it. They
Oh so
changed
pro. Oh so green. Oh, they
they
made the
changed
whole
it.
site green. Oh,
Oh my
that's
gosh. Oh, nope.
oh well.
They
They
didn't.
missed. Like,
They
they're
missed some
like, oh,
stuff.
okay, we put enough. We put enough green. It's fine. And they even made the logo green.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they give you like 1 second of, hey, there's other colors, and then it's like, yeah, no. We have green.
But we have green now. Of course, it gotta show off. Oh, see, that's just gray. That's just green, but grayscaled. That's not black.
Yeah. Apple got lazy. This isn't their big seller anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, as much as it deserves much hype, it is not quite their. It's it's not their big talking point today.
Speaking of which, Jared, man, that I'm liking how we can do this now. This feels good. This feels right.
Oh, this new our so if you've joined us for last time and this time around we've changed out our streamer software of choice. Um, Initially sticking to our kind of on our lonesomes with OBS, figuring out how to get our faces together through Discord calls and
And now we
whatnot.
use an
But
unnamed
now we use, yeah, who
software
knows
that's not
exactly what
that's not in the
this is, who don't worry about.
yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine.
It's not just there because I'm being cheap. It's actually mainly there because I'm being cheap.
You know, the
But
other nice thing is that you can actually continue to see my screen, so you kind of know where I'm going to be going next.
that is true. You always have a sneak peek of Harrison's view, and so if we ever need to switch out, then hopefully I'm on it. The only bummer thing is I didn't realize it was gonna chuck in this default background. If I knew that was gonna come more into play, I probably would have changed it. But for now,
You know,
let's
the funny
just
thing is that we talked about this before the stream too.
we played around with the chat overlay. I remember that. The chat overlay brings out this lovely background. So that's that's something else. But I'll go ahead and stick with the story that the background was intentional because the iPhone 13 now comes in this very same.
Yes, the green.
Yes, it was
Agreed.
just all according to Keikaku. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Anyway,
Anyway, moving on. So since we're already on the topic of iPhones, let's talk about the next iPhone thing. Let's talk about the SE. So
the SE.
okay. I think that if you guys tuned into the last stream, you guys know that I love the SE. I think that this is their most impressive phone, not because of the actual technical specifications, but because it's really, really cheap. Hello, Cassus the Warlock.
Hello, Cassus. Guess what I can do? I can show off your cake emoji on the stream now. Such is the power of our unnamed streaming software. Which, if I can put my hand on the thing.
I wish that we could eat
Welcome.
cake.
I wish I brought cake. Cassus, let us know earlier if you're gonna put the cake emoji onto the screen. We would have bought cake. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, you could always give us cake. There's that option too.
Be our personal cake delivery service for TechNet streams.
It looks like a strawberry shortcake, at least on the emoji that we're seeing here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's definitely strawberry. That's for sure. All according to Keikaku. Very much so. But yeah. Side note: if you're ever in the mood for a really good strawberry cake, Safeway has a really good one.
Really?
Strawberry
I've always
custard.
liked Kulu Kulu.
Oh, I'm not familiar.
Oh, Royal it's in Royal Hawaiian.
Oh, that's why I'm not familiar.
It used to be in Ala Moana until Shiakira shut down.
Oh yeah. Oh, were they in the newer, the big one that was hidden away by like Foodland, or were they in the old their OG spot by Macy's? Or did they actually like stick with them throughout both transitions and then
I don't remember where they used to be. I know that they were in Ala Moana. I'm pretty sure that they were in Shiakia. I think that they used to be. Oh yes, they were. They were in the new one. I remember because I used to go there a lot to grab some strawberry shortcake.
yeah.
So how did Apple Stream turn into a let's talk about strawberry shortcake?
It's fruit related. It counts. I blame Cassus. It's all according to his Keikaku. You owe us cake now.
I mean, there's also apple pie if you want.
That is true. You can never go wrong with a good old apple pie. But maybe
That's more on
now
topic
because
than a strawberry shortcake apple pie.
true. This is all like fruit based desserts. At the very least, we haven't dove into like a chocolate cream pie or something.
Speaking of which, I really want a mango pie, not mango pie, a mango cake.
Ooh, that does sound good.
Yep.
We should probably move on to the rest of the Apple event before I get the
Matcha.
urge to do a.
And now we have completely
Full circle.
completely departed off of the fruits.
Oh, we can make it full circle. iPhone 13 now in matcha. Hey,
There you go. There you go.
The circuit is complete. What is this conversation?
I didn't think that you would actually do that. That was a good one. That was a really good one.
I kind of thought that's all you're going for. When matcha was like, oh, we're on green again. we can segue back.
It's actually because I remember that was the other type of cake I really liked.
Hmm. You know what? Solid cake choice and solid segue. Actually, we moved on from green iPhone 13, and we've moved on to the brand new
Not
iPhone
green.
SE. Unfortunately, the green did not carry over, but it did get itself quite a. I mean, it got the thing that counts, if that counts for anything.
Yeah. So it comes in your three colors, your black, white, and red.
Oh yeah, it's got that product red. That's a sharp red. That's the good red. That's the good stuff. Hello.
Oh yeah, you have a red one.
Yeah.
You
I
know, I
like
like
the
the
red
black.
accent. Was it?
You know, I like the black or the white.
Of
Oh,
course, you
I'm
go with the
sorry. It's
neutral
not called
colors.
white. It's called Starlight.
Oh,
It's
Starlight,
called
Midnight,
Starlight.
and Product Red.
Something's not like the others.
One of these things is not, but it's okay. It's a good cause thing or something. Yeah, it's like
Something about was it? Is it still AIDS or is it something else now?
I'm not sure if they changed it, but yeah, last I remember it was related to yeah, like AIDS stuff.
Hmm. Okay, so features of this thing in a pandemic world, aka if you live in Hawaii, that touch sensor at the bottom is called a home button that houses something called Touch ID. It is an archaic piece of technology
But it was
that
so great though.
that works surprisingly well in this day and age at the moment.
Oh, yeah. Comes in very handy in our mask wearing lives.
So yeah, it has that going for it. I'd never thought product red
Product
light
red
just
light
doesn't.
doesn't sound. Where did light come from?
Oh, Starlight.
Oh
But
yeah.
so that being said, what's oh my gosh. He has a point. I didn't realize as Starlight and Midnight, both of them end with "ite."
That's all right.
Interesting. Oh, as you can see, it starts at $429. They have increased their price by a solid $30, I think.
How dare
How dare they? $30? Do you know how many tacos from
you can get a whole 60 tacos from Wait, no.
I
Is
can't
it
say that
super?
with I can't say that with a straight face. I can't. I can't. Oh,
Yeah, that's
you
a
can
lot of
get a lot.
tacos.
You can
That'll
get a lot.
survive though. Though you can feed a village with $30. Not well, but you can feed a village.
I do like this website though. Like seriously.
It's got that gradient. It's got that random person. It has 5G now. I mean, that seems to be coming in
Yeah.
pretty standard these
Okay,
days. But
so the interesting thing is that I'm surprised that they put 5G into this phone. The biggest reason is that I know that Apple has openly said that the 5G modem is by far the most expensive part inside of the iPhone.
that's
Not
why it
even the
costs $30 extra.
A15. Not even the A15 is more expensive, which oh, you have to give it to Qualcomm. They know how to make a buck, right?
Oh yeah. They found a way to survive. That's why they're able to go at their own pace.
Yeah, so 5G, it's nice. It's just that 5G has been so terrible that honestly sometimes LTE is has been better to me.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Oh, I have nothing.
Oh, you have an 11.
Yeah, I have nothing 5G related.
I
Closest thing,
forgot.
closest I can get to you is 5GE in AT&T. Linko.
Well,
So
okay.
like
Why is
LTE
AT&T
plus.
at least AT&T is consistent?
Mhm.
They will lie to your face about what type of connection you have every
Yeah.
single generation. Remember what was it, what was 4G's thing? Was it like was it like 4G plus or something like that?
Uh,
I remember that they had a branding for it for 4G.
no, sorry, I don't remember. Sorry, changing some stuff up real quick. He disappeared for a moment. There you go. Sorry, you got as pixelated as 4G Plus's history.
Yeah, 4G is interesting. Anyway, let's talk about this for just a bit longer. So I'm impressed. They put an A15 chip, which is the newest chip that they have at the moment inside of it.
Yeah.
And they have better battery life, which is also the other big issue that the previous generation had with a 5G modem. And
Yeah.
everything else is essentially from the A15 chip, like the computational photography, which makes, everything better.
Yeah. Don't have to worry too much about having uh mediocre light sensors if you can handle that all in the back end.
The funny thing is that our good friends at Google used to make that argument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why
Oh,
the
and it
Pixel was
finally
able to
has
find its niche.
water resistance. I forgot about that. So
Hey.
all in all, it's a relatively minor update. Oh no, they also have the new glass.
You got new glass.
Like with the same type of glass they use on the iPhone 13. So they
Oh,
they
okay.
have they have that going for it. So I mean, there's there's improvements to the design, and they're honestly the only improvements that you need in a phone like this.
Hmm. All the
Like
upgrades that count, that like majorly count.
like
Everything else is kind of a bonus.
I see nothing wrong with this design. Yes, it's been out for ages. It's the same design that they had for like the iPhone 6 minus the
Pretty
headphone
much, yeah.
jack.
It's iPhone 7.
Yes, the iPhone 7. Um but it's a tried and true design. There's nothing wrong with it. The screen is okay. It's good enough. It gets you by. The camera's decent. It'll get you by. The performance is outstanding. You better be able to get through this, or else you're not gonna. There's no there that's gonna get you through it.
Nah.
Yeah. All in all, I mean, it's a solid package for really cheap.
Nah, yeah. Solid stuff. Yeah, you're getting that. Yeah, you're pretty much getting, what is it? Uh,
iPhone
Apple's
13
current,
performance
yeah.
with
You got the current top of the line processor, and you've got 5G. And you still have Touch ID.
so it will
I really
perform
like
like a
Touch ID.
modern phone, and it will receive updates for who knows how long.
Nah, probably until like the end of time. Sorry, I'm trying to get your thing back into an HD vibe. So don't mind me while I'm messing around with the settings.
Is it actually that bad on like YouTube?
I don't know how it is on like YouTube itself. Restream has been fighting,
Maybe
or I'm sorry,
maybe
our
it's giving you
unnamed software has been.
Oh, what's it called again? TechNet Show.
You may or may not hate the fact that I keep switching over, switching over the layouts. So what happens if I do that for there, but then I do that? Oh,
Well, I mean, it's okay. It's not bad. It's good enough. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, we'll keep the good. It's good enough.
okay.
It's good enough.
If it works, it works.
Just don't bother with it.
Okay, I'll stop fiddling.
Yeah, I'm actually genuinely liking this. It looks good. It's a solid pick. It will last forever. Yeah. So
Okay.
shall we move on to the next thing?
Yeah, sounds good.
Well, you take the next one. You have more experience in it.
Just to make sure we're all clear, we're diving into. Oh yeah, I see your screen.
You
know what,
see
I
what
might
I
as
mean
well-
by it's useful.
Oh yes. All right. So the SE is not the only thing that has inherited some traits from its more expensive higher end siblings. I am not talking about the basic line iPad. In fact, I think there are some things from the basic iPad that are now coming to this next product, which would be a brand new iPad Air. Now with the M1 chip, because it's already solid enough that they decide to slap the M1 chip into the iPad Pro. Like, you know what? Air can handle it. Air can handle an M1 chip in it. So slap that in there. Otherwise, I know one thing that it had to catch up with. I think both of, if I heard the way they pronounced it or the way they're talking about correctly, both the Pro and the baseline iPad had is the fact that you have the was it
Center stage.
the center stage. I know that's one thing that it sounded like they said like iPad Air like with it like all pretty much all
Yeah.
devices now
iPad Air
have.
was the last one because weirdly enough, Center Stage was announced pretty much at the next iPad event, right
Yeah.
after the Air.
So I'm
And then,
guessing,
well,
was
you
it
know.
so they got a chance to chuck it into the. I'm gonna guess the Pro had it first, or did
I think
did
it was well, yeah, it was a Pro that had it first, and then the Mini and the regular iPad because they got refreshed at the same time.
Oh yeah. So the iPad Air kind of got left in the dust on that until today, into which case it now has uh, center stage capabilities. That's the main highlights that I recall from when they were talking about the iPad Air. Would you care to elaborate further? If I'm pretty sure I missed like maybe like one or a couple of things.
Oh, they have a new color, the blue.
It's
Oh,
in blue.
these are boring colors. It's called
No, they
Space
have
Gray
Space
Starlight.
Gray.
Okay, that's a fancy color, but it's not
And
even
then
rose gold. It's called pink.
it's just pink.
They didn't even try. It's pink,
No, rose gold is
purple,
only available for pro lines.
and blue. It's not
Blue.
cobalt. It's not some weird blue. It's
It's not ocean blue.
blue.
It's not aqua blue. It's not depression blue or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's just blue.
What was the iPhone's blue called? I forget. I think that's more similar to the 13's blue. Oh, it's called blue. Never mind.
That's blue.
Oh, that's
Maybe the
depressing.
Pro has a Pro kind of has a bluish thing too. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that one has
but
a different name.
it's not the same blue. Sierra blue. It's that.
Yeah,
Oh right, I forgot. That's called Alpine green.
Alpine green. Yeah, I haven't
Beautiful.
forgotten to talk about that.
Beautiful. Anyway, yeah, it comes in a new color. It, as you mentioned earlier, it has a new chip inside of it. So honestly, I find it impressive that they're able to fit the M1 chip inside of an iPad. I mean,
Hmm.
the fact that they're able to fit it in a device with zero fans, with like almost no surface area to actually cool it, no vents,
No,
unless you
yeah.
consider speaker grills vents.
It kind of counts, I guess.
Oh yeah, and they also have 5G support on the cellular models.
That's right. Who could forget? There's 5G on practically everything now. Check and respect.
Oh, and 2 times faster USB-C transfer
Oh yeah.
speeds.
You can transfer things faster.
Yeah, so I mean, quite frankly, it's a sizable update. This event has literally been just about, you know what, we're improving performance. We're not really doing anything else. We're just improving performance and releasing a new color, which
No,
I
yeah.
respect. I actually respect.
No, yeah.
Okay.
Nothing too flashy, at least so far.
Okay, Jared, you wanna take me off again for a moment?
Yeah, we gotta save up for the big reveal, the big
Are you sure?
moment. Was it?
Are you sure?
For what?
Are you sure? Are you sure it's a
Oh,
big moment yet? You're missing something.
oh, the second to biggest moment, the
Okay.
moment that had to share the spotlight with the big moment.
Okay, let's talk about this for a moment. You can show my screen. Do you know what I really like about this? Do you know what I
It's ironic.
really, really like about this?
You know, I'm gonna show with your screen. A screen.
It has a stand.
It has a stand.
You know, the fact that I had to say that
Are
hurts
you
me
telling
slightly.
me the screen itself is only $5.99 with the $1,000 thing?
Okay,
Yeah,
so this has s-
it has
audio, like
speakers.
really good speakers in it. What I want to understand is why. Why did you invest so much money into the speakers inside of this thing when
For a screen.
theoretically it's called a studio display, for crying out loud? This is meant to be used in a studio. You're not going to be monitoring audio on anything that tiny. You're going to have ginormous cabinet speakers sitting on the side of your desk, listening to make sure that every single bit of your feature film, your new song, your YouTube video, or whatever sounds pristine. I
Hey
do not
man.
foresee anyone spending $1,500 to watch Foundation.
I don't know. Have you seen Foundation? I have no idea what Foundation even is. I'm sorry. As an aside, they did spend a good amount of time talking about Apple. I forgot entirely that they talked about more Apple TV stuff at the very beginning of the
Yeah.
thing.
So, an
Side note.
actual impressive thing is that it's,
Hey, you called
well, I
Retina.
mean, it's Retina, it's 600 nits. Still not anything compared to their XDR display, though. Oh, they have a nice nano texture, though. And let's
Oh,
talk about the
yeah.
webcam for a moment. Why can't more screens have webcams attached to it? This is
No, right?
2022, the year of online conferencing. Actually, last 2 years ago was online conferencing, and then last year was also online conferencing, and I don't see that going away anytime soon. So
No,
you know
yeah.
what? I'm just gonna keep with it. The year of online conferencing, shouldn't more monitors have a webcam on it?
I think so. I think it'd be good to have.
And it
Like,
has
honestly, yeah.
and it should have a decent mic on it, because if I've known anything about Apple's mics, they sound amazing. I mean, it doesn't sound as good as like the setup I'm using right now, but you see a ginormous mic in the front of my face right now.
Yeah. For the form factors that they are solid.
I'd make an argument that it's not just the form factor. I think it might sound better than certain tabletop mics that are made by Logitech, one of Logitech's subsidiaries. That's the
Substitute.
name of a color. And I think that it sounds better than that if it's on the desk. If you put it straight up against someone's mouth, that does definitely sounds better. But
It's a very different vibe when it's right by the face.
yeah. But if it's an apples to apples comparison, like
Yeah.
you put them right next to each other, I would make the argument that the Apple speakers, I mean not speakers, mics sound better.
Well, now you can compare the monitor speakers too. Yeah. You know what? That's fair. I can't argue with that.
The difference with the speakers is that with speakers you are limited by physics.
Oh yes. There's only so much you can do. But hey, if you wanna, I don't know, blast your lo-fi music to study and to
Okay.
relax you while you're 3D animating or something.
That being said, I guarantee this is gonna sound much better than your like $100-$200 speaker setup from some random Best Buy place.
IKEA. Yeah.
Like these are going to be good speakers. I just don't see like you're naming it a studio display, and saying the word studio implies something.
It's highly unlikely that for its core demographic is going to be in heavy use, with the only possible exception being is that if you want to like test your audio in various scenarios and you want to know what it sounds like out of said speak when it fires downwards out of your monitor with some kind of spatial thing to it, then I guess it gives you an extra feel to play with. But yeah, I'm going to go under the assumption it's not going to be your main audio input output device.
Oh, yeah. Well, I still think that's going to sound really good. Apple has made solid speakers in impossibly small things.
No, yeah, solid stuff.
Wait, the
As an
heck?
aside,
The heck?
what, spatial audio?
When you're playing music, the A13 Bionic chip works with all 6 speakers.
Yeah, they slapped an A13 chip into the monitor.
I forgot about that.
If you really want to like was it? I almost feel like it's definitely a stretch, but you can almost say this is practically an iMac with the computer part actually ripped out of it.
The ironic thing is that the computer part is actually not ripped out of it. It's just not made for that purpose. You know exactly what I mean by that.
That is true. Like, yeah, technically, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure they've stripped enough from the possibly stripped enough from the A13 where you're not able to really load anything into it. You get an A13 and you get an excuse me, they had leftover A13, so they chucked it all into the screen. Now the iPhones get A15s and and everything else gets an
I
M1.
think that the iPad has an A13 in it. I think it does. I could be wrong. Oh, there you are.
An A13.
It's an
hey.
A13. They must have a stockpile of them. That That screen literally has an iPad processor slapped into it.
It's a giant basic iPad with a much better resolution and more USB-C ports
And more Thunderbolt ports.
and more Thunderbolt
And more
ports
speakers.
and more speakers.
You know what? It's just
What
a
is this
better
product?
iPad. Period.
Pretty much. It's a touchless, better 27-inch iPad with a stand or a base mount if you want to go wall
With a
connection.
stand. just remember, it's with a stand.
With a stand.
That's the big part of the story here.
I'm not sure how to feel about it, but I agree.
It's a really nice stand.
It is. It is a good stand. You can tilt it a whole 30 degrees. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, I'm happy that they don't have the honeycomb shape on the back of the screen. I prefer like the solid.
Oh, the grill.
Yeah. I prefer the solid like block of aluminum look.
Yeah. Also feels like it just meshes or mesh. It also feels like it just like goes with the rest of their designs for practically everything else. Speaking of grill, I
Yep.
was thinking of speaking
grill.
of blocks, but speaking of grill, first and foremost.
Speaking of grills, this thing has been made obsolete.
It has.
So, okay, I want to know. I wonder how it feels. Like you're like, I'm gonna drop 20 grand on a computer. It's like, yeah, this thing is never, ever being replaced. And 2 months later,
Surprise!
a 5 grand,
ARM is the
six
future is
grand
now.
device has beaten it.
ARM is the future, and the future is now, old man.
And it's cheap. Because don't forget, they were comparing it to a spec'd out version of this.
They're comparing with that Xeon, that good stuff.
So yeah, let's
man.
talk about it. Let's go Mac Studio.
It's the Mac Studio, which first and foremost, before we get into any like specs and hype and everything, what scared me the most when they're going into this, when they initially like doing the teaser video, and then the lights came on and it came out in that ring that matches the bottom ring, I got really concerned because all I see is ring, and I thought, oh shoot, that's not gonna be another cylinder, is it? The trash can's not coming back.
Okay, so I have feelings about this one. I have genuine feelings about this one. First of all, look at how beautiful this is. It's super clean.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the nicest computers I've ever seen. Second of all,
solid venting.
how the heck do they fit a power supply in this thing? Like, it has an internal power supply.
Yeah, that's actually pretty dope.
You know exactly what I mean when I say that, Jared.
Yeah.
Like most tiny devices, they have this ginormous power. My monitor has a ginormous power brick attached to it.
Yeah. There's many a power brick that's currently hanging by a thread near me for multiple different devices.
Okay.
Xbox for sure. Yeah.
This is called the Mac Studio. They thought about that. They wondered, what does a studio worker need? I would like to point out this archaic looking port that's next to the left of the
Yeah, I know, right? Who still uses USB-A? Oh, sorry, you meant left. Sorry. Sorry, what?
Well, there's that too. There's two types of archaic ports. So
Mm.
to the left, you will notice something that you haven't seen in a very long time. Children, it's called Ethernet.
The
Er,
right way to attach internet to your computer. By the way, no, 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 no.
Here, let's go story time for a moment here. There was once in the medieval times of early technology, in the early 2000s. It was savage. Rather than having your Wi-Fi in the airways, Wi-Fi was something that was advertised at McDonald's as a place to play your Nintendo DS.
Well,
You don't.
my mind went way too early 2000s, and all of a sudden Nintendo DS came to the scene. I like skipped a few years in my head. Give me a moment of catching up.
Okay.
But anyway,
Wi-Fi was barely existent. It was there, but it wasn't there.
it was still trying to catch on. It was in its early days. You kids have it easy these days. It comes naturally. It's practically built into your home at this point.
You don't just walk into a place and expect internet. No, we needed to grab something called a wire. I know. Wires. What is a wire? There's only power cords these days, right? That's the only wire
What
that
is a
exists.
wire? It's actually
What's
kind of incredible, like how wireless you can go these days.
It's pretty
While we're
true
on it,
because like most things are Bluetooth. So you have like,
you can
your
pretty
Bluetooth like
much.
keyboard and mouse. Your internet's wireless. Your your storage devices are usually wireless because
Yeah,
it's cloud based.
yeah, that's as wireless as you can get.
And oh yeah. And there's one other port on the far right next to the power button. There's also something called a 3.5 millimeter audio jack.
Yeah, yeah. I was about to say, like, I don't know anyone actually calls it 3.5 millimeter.
Whatever.
But yeah, you remember the olden days of when was the 7, like 2000, or remember the olden days where people there was a time where headphone jacks dominant were pretty much standard on every phone, and the iPhone 7 decided like, hey, we don't need this. And then
It took
we thought
courage.
it took courage, it took bravery. Still waiting on half decent wireless HDMI display port that doesn't cost half a PS5.
Oh yeah, I
That'll be a
forgot
while
about that
today.
one. HDMI is not necessarily wireless yet.
Yeah, not yet. The possibilities is there. I think
Oh,
if I remember
you could buy
correctly,
a Teradek for, as he said, half
half
the
the
cost
cost
of.
of the PS5.
Yeah, we use that in the professional video
Are
world.
we? Are we talking? We're talking base market price of PS5. Yeah, not like was it scalper
I
price
think we might be
PS5?
talking about scalper prices.
We're talking about scalper price PS5.
I'm pretty sure that Teradeks costs like $600-$700.
Oh, so you can buy a market price, one and a half of a market price PS5.
Or was it $1,000?
Also, you can buy two whole PS5 market based PS5s
Oh, I,
or half a scalper PS5.
I, ooh, I might have underestimated how much this costs. My bad. The cheapest one cost $2,900. So significant.
Oh, so that begs the question: Casas, what PS5s are you? No, I'm kidding. We're obviously on two different wavelengths here,
Yeah,
but
but I mean, we're talking about like 750-foot range,
yeah,
HDR support,
proper wireless displays.
4K. Oh, and zero latency.
Oh, that's important.
Yeah.
That's valuable. That's worth the $2,000.
That's where the
right there.
$2,900 comes from.
Oh, yeah. Zero latency over wireless. That's the dream right there. That's the goal. That's the end game. We, especially us in Hawaii, we can't afford latency. The Pacific Ocean is our latency. We don't need to add more latency to that.
So there it is. They exist. They just, as you said, they cost a pretty penny.
Yeah.
I mean, if these things are good enough for Hollywood, I'm pretty sure they're good enough for you.
These things are good enough for Hollywood. That means Hollywood's the only ones that can afford it. Hey, no.
You're not wrong, because they make an $11,000 model of it.
Oh goodness. Things are
And you're
getting
talking about like a
expensive.
box like this big.
Isn't $11,000? You can literally buy almost 3 of these with the newer chip in it for that kind of money.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like this. So, okay, going back to what I was originally going to say, I was going to talk about the Ethernet port, but not because it was there, but because it was 10 gigabit.
Oh yeah, it's the good Ethernet. It's the solid
So,
stuff.
I know that when it comes to like working with a lot of video files, 10 gigabit Ethernet is a must. You need it.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah, I genuinely appreciate that. Of course, the 4 Thunderbolt ports at the back and the 2 in the front is crazy.
Oh, yeah, that's good stuff.
They
And they
have
even
a
have a
SD
display.
card reader.
Oh, yeah, smack in the front too. So easy hot swap. You don't have to worry about shoving the SD card in the back. I can respect that.
Yeah. And you know what? They even have a new chip,
Oh yes,
a 20 core CPU.
How do you like them odds? From
Oh,
what I understand, you could start out with the already powerful M1 Max, which was the Max for the pros. I'm confusing myself with my terms already. Or you can smack to ultra fuse those 2 of these maxes together and rock an M1 Ultra, which, side note, for the naming convention, I feel like they're trying to prove me wrong from yesterday, because I swear there was one particular comment where I'm like, would they name it Ultra? I swear that's Samsung's thing. I just missed the idea of ever them using the Ultra name in anything, but lo and behold,
well, I mean, where else would you go
M1.
after Max?
That is true. That is fair. Ultra, the ultimate. I don't know if
So
they're actually related.
let's
I
talk
just
about
have a
this for a
feeling.
moment. So it can do up to 9 streams of 8K ProRes.
Can we talk about this animation that's happening in the background too while we're at it? What is happening? It's glorious. Don't get me wrong.
It's called showing what.
Plus Ultra. Fair enough. I understand the inspiration.
Yeah, so that's a really nice animation. You're right.
It is. It is solid.
Like
It's very gummy.
a few streams of 8K, any type of video is difficult on any computer to begin with. 9 is insane.
9 streams of 8K ProRes video playback. Heck am I gonna do with 9 streams of 8K ProRes?
I don't know. And the other big impressive thing is their SSD. I've never seen an SSD that's that fast before.
That's a pretty solid speed. Sorry, I was actually waiting for one of the gummies to disappear to actually see the speed. But yeah, it's solid.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was a max.
Oh, my bad. That's right.
I forgot.
We were still on the max. On the
Um,
plus side, all you gotta do is just take all the data from the max and literally double it, and you got yourself the Ultra. With the exception of the SSD, which I mean is still packing that impressive speed, but
what
the SSD is
I
unrelated.
what I want to understand is who is working with 18 streams of 8K? Who is this for?
This person has transcended to a realm beyond which human understanding is physically capable. Clearly, this person's room is just a wall of like 100 different screens. I
Apparently,
want to.
yeah.
How does one even? I want to learn that level of efficiency. Oh my
So,
goodness.
as you can see, they have used the good Mac Pro in all of their
Uh,
stuff, which is incredibly surprising to me.
yeah, gotta show off that performance with DaVinci Resolve and all that. But yeah,
So,
the Max by itself is already wicked impressive.
and the other thing is that all this power with two fans. I know, like, all of you PC enthusiasts is like, how do they dissipate all that heat with two tiny fans? You have not seen the black magic that Apple has put into the 14-inch MacBooks.
No, yeah.
I mean, those things run hot, but they're dead silent and they perform like a beast.
Yes. They even have an M1 version of the MacBook Air that, coincidentally enough, as the irony goes, is basically a fanless Mac. So it has that going for it.
And when Apple says whisper quiet, trust me, they mean whisper quiet.
Are we since we're talking about whisper quiet, are we purposely lowering our voices for this one?
Sure.
Is that what's happening here?
I guess.
Getting quieter. Gotta attempt to
Gotta
match the.
gotta go closer to the mic.
Yeah, gotta let the people know. Gotta let the
Yeah,
people know.
gotta let them
Gotta
know.
let them know. Gotta let them have the whisper quiet experience. But we can't go whisper quiet because then you will not be able to hear this stream, and that would be
Actually,
counterproductive to
you can hear me.
impromptu ASMR. Absolutely, this is the moment we've been waiting for.
I
This
know.
is this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
this is actually the true calling
Just
of the TechNet show. This is
just a bit of mic handling noise. If if uh if you can hear it, I don't know if you can.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It partially reminds me of the sound of a car that passes by when the road the road is a little bit wet. Not gonna lie to you. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just my opinion. I'm just letting you know that was a truck passing by on that very same road. But yeah, welcome back to another exciting edition of TechNet After Hours ASMR edition. Today we're going to be um, well, we're unable. Well, we don't have a Mac Studio with us, but you can be sure that we will have as many mics as close to those fans as we possibly can to see if we can even pick up the faintest sound of that whisper quiet, that that whisper quiet noise, that whisper quiet hum, and we'll just play that for 5 hours.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's actually get on with this. So,
True. What just happened?
okay, the biggest thing that surprised me is actually the pricing of this. For $2,000, you get the M1 Max with 32 gigabytes of memory. I believe that's a steal. I genuinely believe that's a steal for the amount of power you're getting, for the amount of memory that you're getting, for everything in general.
It's a
I,
really
f-
solid buy.
I feel like you're right, that's a really solid buy. But $4,000 for the M1 Ultra, I think it's unheard of. You're talking about this replacing Apple's previous $16,000 computer and outperforming it for $4,000.
Yeah, yeah. It's actually a very well. I guess the sorry, I'm trying to remember how conventional the other pricings is, but it makes sense in this case with the 4,000 to 2,000 because you're practically getting two max chips for the price of two max chips.
Yeah. You're also
So
getting double the storage.
that's true. Literally double everything. You're practically
Yeah, double the memory, double the storage, double the CPU. Just not double the case, I guess.
yeah. It's literally the thing of like, tell you what. Usually it's one for $10, but I'll give it to you. I'll give you two for 20. But I mean, in this case, it's if you've got yourself double is probably more than, but it's definitely more than I can feasibly imagine actually using.
Yeah, so
I'm sure there's people's work cases that will will find much better breathing room with, with this with this kind of power.
my question now is with Apple's desktops finally being within the, you know what? It's competitive. I'm not going to claim that these things are going to beat PCs because I know in my mind that since, a lot of Rosetta stuff, there's a lot of things that aren't going to let it hit its fullest potential. So I'm going to say comparable to like the $4,000 computers, $2,000 desktops out there. So I'm gonna play it safe and say that is since it's finally a feasible option, like I know I'm literally just paying for Mac OS. You know what I mean by that because that's how it
Man.
used to be. Okay, oh, I really want a computer. I really want a Mac, but it's double the price. Is it worth it? But changing it from that to, you know what? All these computers have about the same performance. They're about the same price. Which one should I get? I'm wondering if this is going to start changing the landscape.
I could see that. It definitely seems yeah, I definitely especially in the desktop space, I'll stick with your that comfort zone stance area where it's
Why don't you
entered in
switch it
as the
back to the other
competitive.
view?
All right.
Because there's not
You
much
don't
going
want
on the
people
screen.
to. No one wants to soak in more of these aesthetically pleasing specs. They're good specs. But yeah, there we go. Up, hey, you're in decent quality. Oh no, there you go. HD has returned. Welcome
That's
back,
good.
HD Harrison. Anyway, uh, what was it? But yeah, I would. Yeah, I would stick in that camp too, where they've definitely, especially with this kind of for this kind of performance in that kind of price range, have definitely made themselves a um, much more of like a viable option beyond just like, oh, I just need this because I want, I want to use Mac. I want to use Mac programs and want to use Mac OS kind of thing. Like now it's showing like, oh, if you have stuff that's on eventually like over time as things get more compatible with M1 and like ARM based stuff, and we don't have to rely too much on um, like emulating things, or maybe even like the emulation side might get better as well. Um, definitely like for softwares that support both like Windows and Mac, now you can um, now you arguably can choose like either or, and you don't have to worry about oh, I had to pay a premium to get into
Yeah.
Mac OS. Now
So
I got
speaking of
myself a really solid device for that
speaking of
happens to be Mac.
software, the thing that has actually been exciting me the most about Apple's like M1 stuff is that I feel like it's going to start to have a pull on these like really big developers that just have never developed for the Mac.
Hmm.
Because it's finally gotten down to the point where it's like people will actually consider it for the price point.
No, yeah. It has.
Because in the past, like for a computer like this, you'd need to pay like $15,000 on a Mac Pro, and I can't think of a sane business that doesn't have expendable cash to spend. That
No,
would
yeah.
be like, why don't we just get a Windows computer for like a fourth of the price?
No, yeah. Yeah, but now they have that fourth of a price option, and it's a really solid option to go with. At least, or in the Mac space,
Yeah.
as well as the.
So I'm
So
wondering if this is going to start to sway developers
I could
into
see it being possible. I'll say.
into being like this is this is more affordable for more people now. So maybe the software is going to start to come down the line
Hmm.
because there's already certain workloads that this will kill any Windows computers on.
No, yeah.
If your workflow involves any sort of ProRes video, I'm sorry, you're not finding this anywhere else.
No, yeah. Pro is kind of Apple's whole like bread and butter.
No. So
I thought you were gonna jump into like if your workload happens to involve doing 18 8K streams at one time. I was about to say you should probably seek professional help. Maybe take a break. Breaks are good. Maybe spread out a little bit. You don't have to consolidate all your timelines into just tomorrow. you know, but
you remember, you can work on one project at a time, not 5 projects in one timeline.
yes, exactly. Feel free, take your time. Multitasking is great, but multitasking 24/7, I can only imagine the amount of strain. I'm tired just thinking about it. But anyway.
But the other actual real impressive thing is that it has 4 video encode engines. So you're not looking so if you're comparing this to Windows computers, you're not looking at GeForce line graphics cards. You're looking at Quadros.
Quadros for the
Because
for the serious productive end.
that's just one of like GeForce's. I mean, the art. What do they call it now? The RTX line.
I think so. And yeah, instead of GTX is now the RTX. Right?
The downfall of the RTX line is the fact that it only has 2 encode engines. Which,
Hmm.
if you're a normal sane person, it doesn't matter. If you're trying to capture a whole ton of video, it matters
It starts to
significantly.
feel you start to feel it a little.
So that's
GPU
what I'm
fans
saying.
be a
It's like
spinning.
$4,000. It's right in that price range of what a Windows computer with similar spec would be.
Hmm. Yeah, I can see that. So I guess it ultimately has boiled down to less of like a preference for Mac, but more of um you can really go if your workflow allows it, you can really go with either or, and you definitely can't go wrong. But of course, you gotta keep in mind as to what your workflow actually is. If it does demand more things that are more, I guess, for whatever reason, is more compatible with Windows, you go with you stick with your Windows machines. If your stuff is more compatible with like you said, with like ProRes and stuff like that, and needs more like of the Apple, the Mac touch to it, you know, you
Yeah.
have a solid option with the Studio.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a lot of 3D like, what's it called again?
Like animation
3D.
software.
Well, I wasn't going to say animation because animation software has always been on Macs. I'm more
True.
talking about construction.
Oh, like that like AutoCAD kind of stuff. Or like
Yeah, I know that I don't think that AutoCAD's on Mac, but I know that a lot of their competitors are starting to.
starting to develop more into the Mac and the ARM space.
Yeah. Well, AutoCAD's just one of those companies that I really I firmly believe that AutoCAD is going to die a slow death
Eh.
because they're just one of those companies that
Much like the
don't
people that use
move.
AutoCAD. Okay.
That's-
I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with AutoCAD. Forgive me if I made the assumption that you're slowly dying inside every time the software opens.
But
Maybe
yeah,
it's just me. It looks
Aut-
complicated.
AutoCAD just doesn't it seems to be stagnating.
Hmm.
Like it's not improving at the rate that everyone else is. Of course, you could make the argument that everyone else has a lot more improvements that they need to make. But
Right now, AutoCAD is doing the was it like Intel in its prime days kind of thing. It's just sitting pretty, maybe doing a couple improvements here and there, but ultimately it's just kind of sitting around enjoying its time on the throne,
yeah.
living its life.
So that's why I have this feeling that even industrial applications are going to start looking at this because, quite frankly, when you're bringing a computer on site, the size matters.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'd hate to need to bring a ginormous tower on site.
No, yeah. I would not be a happy camper if the dream machine and my lovely little built up desktop over to my left needed to move. I don't want to move it. Also
Yeah.
because since it's custom built, I have no idea if there's anything that's possibly loose. So I have a sneaking suspicion that the moment it moves an inch from its spot, something's gonna something's gonna give way.
Mhm.
That's a personal thing.
Now, that's like the size matters, the weight matters. This thing is the lightest thing in the world. At
Yeah.
the Ultra weighs 8 pounds.
8 pounds.
8 pounds.
Eight
Like
pounds.
the
Okay.
heck? What? How do they do that?
Is it mostly the power supply and the coolant?
Like the height is 3.7 inches. The width is 7.7. The depth is 7.7. This thing
Yeah.
is
See,
tiny.
it's the power of ARM. No.
Huh?
I'm kind of joking, but I'm kind of not. I think has mastered power in a small form factor. Now we're slowly but surely giving it more room to grow, but
Well,
it's taking its sweet time growing.
it looks like the maximum continuous power is 370 watts.
Ooh.
So it
Hey,
doesn't suck. It sucks up a decent amount of power. It's not that much though.
yeah. And I feel like with the story with the other the M1s when it comes to power consumption, if there's less power consumption, it means less on your electricity.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm sure that businesses would actually see value in that.
Yeah.
Like especially if you have like about 20 workstations running. The power cost adds up.
Yeah. Man, efficiency saves you money.
On both your actual power bill, it saves you money twice on your power bill actually.
Yeah.
On the initial amount of power and your HVAC system.
No, yeah.
You get the computer's heat out somehow.
That
It's
is
not going
true.
through the
That is
window,
true.
especially not in Hawaii.
Oh yeah, no. Absolutely not. It's actually gonna get hotter anyway. But yeah. Saves you on power, unless you happen to be that one guy that once again has been running 18 streams throughout this entire conversation, in which case, I'm sorry, nothing is saving you. I'm sure they don't care.
So another nice little piece that they have is that the headphone jack actually supports high impedance headphones.
Yeah. It's a
So
good headphone jack.
it's that might not mean much to most people, but to professionals that use really good headphones, that means that you could drive your Sennheiser 600s if you want to. You could drive your Sennheiser 800s if you want to. As you can see, Sennheiser is my.
You can drive your Sennheisers and
You
your
could you could drive your
Sennheiser equivalents.
any of your Sennheisers, and you will
Oh
be happy.
yes.
Long live Sennheiser.
Long live Sennheiser. I say as I own nothing in Sennheiser.
Yeah, that's my favorite headphone brand.
Yeah, he seems solid. That's as far as my knowledge of Sennheiser. There's my glowing review of Sennheiser from a man who has not experienced any of their products. They seem solid.
They seem solid.
They seem solid.
Quote Jared.
Quote Jared from TechNet Show. Sennheiser seems solid.
You can use that one if you want, Sennheiser.
There you go. Fully endorsed. I'm okay with it. Plaster my face next to it with the good old thumbs up. There you go.
Exactly
I
what
feel
you
like
need.
it's
Your
not.
out of context sentence that every single product page needs.
Yes, they seem solid. Also worth noting that I feel like I should go without saying, but this stream is not sponsored by Sennheiser. If you're lucky, if I'll trade you that sentence for a sponsor spot though, Sennheiser, if you happen to catch it in the stream.
No. Yeah, it's impressive, and I genuinely believe that this is gonna start changing things.
Oh, yeah, it's a really good buy. It's good stuff, and I guess the only thing left we have to see is what they're going to do with their standard Mac Pros, because it sounds like they have something they want to talk about with
I
that
think
one.
this is their new Mac Pro.
Yeah. The only reason I mentioned that was I guess kind of towards the um correct me if I'm remembering this wrong, but I'm pretty sure near the end of the presentation, they're like almost everything has,
Yeah.
with the exception of the Mac Pro. So
Yeah. You're right.
I'm not
You're
sure if
right.
they're gonna.
Never mind. You're right.
Yeah,
I mean, they might have just been saying that the Mac Pro still exists,
Hmm,
and they would be well within their right to say that.
that's true. That's true. So maybe less of like a look forward to a major thing to come, and more of a, if you still want to go with the Mac Pro, it's there.
Or they could be looking forward to a major thing to come, but I don't know how they're going to up this one.
Well, the current Ultra is currently 2 M1 Maxes stitched together.
What if they put like 6 together?
Oh, I was gonna say they stack 2 Ultras together, which would be 4 Maxes, but we could do 6. We could go the full, the full shebang.
I mean, seriously, you're talking about literally the studio is this big. This big.
Yeah.
It's slightly taller than a Mac Mini. And you're trying to cram it into a tower that's I can't even show you on the screen because it's too big.
Yeah, it's practically the same size. If you were to take this entire, like, if you were to take your screen and just like turn it vertical. Actually, I don't know what your home screen looks like. Maybe you're watching this off of like a 40. Maybe you're watching this off of like a 72-inch TV. Please do not rotate your 72-inch TV. We've gone beyond desktop size at that point. Please.
Yeah. But I mean, they could pack anything they want into it, realistically. Because you're not dealing with tiny coolers anymore. You can have the Mac Pro has ginormous fans with ginormous heat sinks on top of them.
Man, the sky is the limit. You can go as crazy as you want. You can turn an entire side panel into a giant M1 Plus Ultra Max Super Pro liquid. I don't know.
Yeah. But if they do want to keep that form factor,
The sky's the limit.
you can really do anything you want with it.
What happens when you take a chip that promises great power and a compact form factor and just give it the space to roam as free as it wants, as big as you want to make it?
Now that I think about it, Apple has never shown us an M1 that's not in small form factor.
Nah, yeah, it's all been tiny.
Yeah.
Unless you count the iMac, but that I'm pretty sure that just counts for the 24-inch screen.
Yeah, remember that the actual thing was like this.
Oh, yeah, it looked like, well, it looked like this new display, but at the time you can compare it to like, oh, it kind of looks like a 24-inch iPad Air or Pro at that point. It's thin.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit. I see pretty good things happening for this if they actually decide to keep it.
Yeah, all kinds of potential in this.
It would be hilarious if they just ended up making like just the most powerful desktop PC, full stop.
Just in existence. This is it. This is what peak performance looks like. And they put it back in the trash can. Okay. Well,
Probably could if they wanted to, but I think that they're gonna keep a tower. If they truly keep the Mac Pro, it's gonna be a tower.
Yeah,
it's because they had so much backlash. I don't think that they're gonna do it again.
I can see, yeah. At this point, they gotta keep. If you're gonna make a Mac Pro, it's gotta be, it's gotta maintain that Mac Pro ness.
Yeah. Man, I can't wait to see it though. It's gonna be interesting.
It will. If they have something cooking, I'm sure it's gonna be something wild.
I mean, I guarantee we're not going to need that kind of power, but
yeah, I don't know who will, but that power is gonna be available. It's gonna be pricey, but the Mac Pro already lives in that category anyway. So I mean, Hey, sky's the limit for you if you get one.
Yep.
Possibly, allegedly. Most likely, but we're still gotta tack on that asterisk for safety.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel good. I feel good about this. This is gonna be something else.
Yes. So yeah, so far they've just this has shown promising increments in practically all, or at least the event in general seems to show promising increments in practically like most, if not all, of their like general array of products, from like the iPhone SE getting itself the latest A15 into it, the iPad Air finally getting the M1 chucked into it, and then the Studio exists with the new monitor that has a stand with it,
Yeah.
and the A13 chip in it.
Okay, I complained a lot about the studio display, but I didn't give it enough credit. It's actually a really good monitor for the price.
No, yeah, I think I remember us when we talked about it previously. Like, was it comparing it to other like professional grade of like that level? It's actually really good for its price.
Yeah.
It's just
That's
really funny to see them sell
that's
the stand as an add-on for $10,000.
I mean, you could literally just have tacked on $1,000 into the price and no one would have batted an eye because that's what you expect to spend on a monitor like that.
Yeah, and just say the stand is a removable option, so it saves you $1,000, and you can use the stands you already have. That would
You're
have
right. They should have made it a removable option rather than an add-on.
rather than, oh, this is the screen. Oh, by the way, you can get this stand for $1,000 more.
You could take the stand out for $1,000 savings.
Would have
I
gotten the same message across,
I
but no.
I guarantee that people would have applauded that decision.
Oh yeah, everybody like, oh, finally, I don't have to worry about wasting out like another stand because I want to use my own stand. I can just plug this into my current stand and everything will be fine and dandy. And I saved that $1,000, even though that was the original plan anyway.
Man, Apple is one of the greatest marketing companies on the planet Earth, but they messed that one up bad. They,
There's two ways I can see this pretend that this I can see this. Either A, it could have gone our route, gotten the praise in that department, and everything would have been fine and dandy. But there's a possibility that they messed this up on purpose, because now we're talking about the Pro Display and the
the
$1,000.
memes. The
Yes.
memes. You're right.
Never underestimate the marketing power of memes.
You're right. We are still talking about it. And
And
Apple is one of the
there's
best marketing companies in the world.
man, marketing is like is full on 4D chess sometimes. It's kind of crazy.
You're right. That's like such a novice mistake. There's no way they could have done that.
Yeah, so many possibilities that could have gone. It was either a galaxy brain move, and they did it for the meme so that we'll keep talking about it to this day, or they genuinely worded it wrong and should have made it as a removable add-on.
I
It's a complicated marketing is a complicated space.
the funny thing
I
is
cannot
that
brave.
no one cared about the fact that the nano texture glass cost $1,000 extra.
That's true.
No one talked about that.
No one batted an eye because they didn't talk about additional prices. I don't think they actually said what the price is if you add on everything. It said it is an option.
Well, the most expensive configuration would have been that. There's no reason why you would get both a VESA mount and a Pro stand.
Some days I'm feeling a stand on my desk, and some days I just want to chuck it to the side and attach it to my wall.
Seriously, if they literally just made the no thanks button, it literally is a no thanks button. If they just made that not the default and made the Pro stand the default and no thanks as the other one,
Yeah.
you could literally have the option of, oh, you can have the stand, but you could press no thanks and you could get the VESA mount adapter instead.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
We would be living in a vastly different timeline. We'd be in a very different world if they actually decided to make it a removable option instead of an add-on.
But then again, we're still talking about it, so
Who really won out
you
of
might
this
be
one?
right. You might be right. That that might just have been a big brain move from their marketing department.
Marketing is intense. I don't know. Marketing is a tough one.
Or did they misjudge their audience?
It could be possible.
Because this is a product targeted at professionals. However, consumers ended up getting their thoughts into it.
Yeah, that's true. It could be possible that since we are of the common folk, we're able to enjoy the meme as the common people. So like, oh, $1,000 stand. Who the heck is gonna pay $1,000 for a stand? But yeah, maybe in the professional world, this is your average add-on or however it
Because
goes.
the other thing that I've noticed is that a lot of Apple's products, like the iMacs, you can either buy them with a VESA mount or you can get it with a stand. You can't have it both ways. It's not removable.
Oh, it's just on there. Whatever choice, your fate is sealed.
Yeah, this might have been their way of trying to subtly say, you can remove the stand, you can remove the VESA mount, you could use whatever you want with this thing.
Without going too technical or going into too much in depth of, or maybe even needing to like try to explain like why this is a big deal in this space. Like, oh, you can take this, you can change it out how you will.
Yeah.
But instead of just like, you know what, maybe if we just say that the stand is an add-on, then it'll let people know, oh hey, if I want to mount this using a VESA mount, I can. But so my desk environment changes and I need a stand, I can get and use a stand.
Yeah. So it's possible they misjudged who was watching it.
Yeah. That's the trouble too. Is you may be targeting a specific audience, but your conferences are for everyone.
Yeah. Just like our videos, and we should start wrapping this up.
Speaking of content that's rated E for everyone, and speaking of marketing content, actually, first and foremost, thank you to all of you who joined us for this talk of the Peak Performance Apple event. Certainly had some exciting things that came out of this one, especially that brand new green iPhone 13. Never going to forget that one. Thank you to Casas for chatting it up with us in the chat. If you're still here, if you're not here, I mean, thank you anyway, but I'm sorry you missed the thanks, I guess. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, if you're on YouTube, you can hit that like button on this stream. And if you want to catch us in some brand new in future tech nets, you can subscribe to our YouTube or by appreciate and you can follow us on Twitch, where we will be simultaneously streaming on both of those platforms. If you do want to keep more up to date as to when we are streaming, assuming I ever actually bother to update on those, you can always follow us on our social medias on Twitter and Instagram at TechNet Show. And Costas is still with us, and he has given us more cake. I am once again hungry.
Well, thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one, which is hopefully next week, Monday.
Oh, yeah, fingers crossed. This is when the 2022 promises start kicking in. Consistency.
I mean, we've already been consistent in the wrong way.
Yeah, we were consistently gone for 3 months. Now we'll be consistently in for 3 months, and then we'll disappear again. We'll see what happens in 3 months.
No. Well, thanks for watching. Bye for now.
See you.